Aboro, Aboye, Aboshishe, and welcome to another Ifa Orisha tradition discussion on the Ijuba Otun network. Before I start today's subject, which is going to be a continuation of the subject of times, let me offer the Iba. Opweni Olorun, Olodumare Oba Jeki, Mojiloni, Mowogun Meriaye, Iba Ila, Orun, Iba Iwo, Orun, Iba Ariwa, Iba Gusu, Iba Oba Egba Aye, Iba Orun Oke, Iba Baba, Iba Yeye, Iba Atiwo, Orun, Ibashe Igungun Kiki Igungun, Ibashe Ori, Ori Inu, Ipori Atiwo, Orun. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right, before I discussed the traditional Yoruba calendar and the Ose cycle, today I'm going to go into some fine detail as to how it works, and I'm going to discuss also the various energies that are appeased on those days and some of the other important information concerning the modes by which we use to appease the energies. I mentioned before that the traditional calendar was a lunar calendar. I mentioned that it is broken down into a 4-day cycle, and 1 month on the traditional calendar represented 7 weeks, and each week that made up the month would be 7 in all. Okay, so that 4 days and the 7 weeks would make up a 28-day cycle, which is the complete cycle of the moon, or a lunar cycle. Now, we're going into discussing the 4 days that are dedicated to the Orishas and how they are rotated. All right? The 4 days that are dedicated to the Orisha rotates as follows. The first day is called Ose Obatala, and on that day, which is dedicated to Obatala, the Iyami as well as the Egun are appeased on that day. The second day, or the Ose Ifa, is dedicated to Orunmila, Oshun, Olokun, and Aje. Day 3, which is Ose Ogun, is dedicated to Ogun, and Ose Obatala and Aganju are also appeased on that day. The fourth day is Ose Shango and is dedicated to Shango, and Oya as well as Yemoja are also appeased on that day. Now, additionally, Itedagun occurs every 4th Ose Ifa day. Itedagun is a meeting day for priests of Ifa to divine together and to make Ebo. Now, one of the things to pay note to is that Eshu and your Ori will accept propitiation on any day with any of the Orisha. Similarly, Igungun on Ose Obatala can also be a stand-in for ancestral veneration, while acknowledging that ancestor can be venerated at any time. Reference to the days of worship can be found in several Odus of Ifa, such as Oturopon Tura, Obara Meji, Oshe Meji, Iwori Aweda, Okara Ofun, and several others, and these are just a few. Propitiating Ifa on Ose Ifa or Egun is considered the most ideal day to go to Ifa. But any day is a good day to pray. So don't allow the calendar to limit you in that regards. Instead, you can think of the calendar as a way to align your prayers to the timing that other practitioners are commonly using. Routine and schedules aside, offerings for propitiation can be done at any time you feel the need to do so, without necessarily having a special reason. Think of it as checking in to continue to augur good favor and to stay on path, rather than waiting to wander off the path. When going to your shrine to make an offering for whatever reason, one premise remains the same across the board. Be clear and steadfast in your request and your words. If it is an emotionally heightened moment, or you are very strapped for time, it would be wise to wait for a more suitable and available time. Likewise, do not go making petition, prayers, and requests under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or disorienting prescriptive medicine, or without having already thought out the prayer or petition. Ifa even specifically advises the necessity of serious deliberation and heartfelt prayers or meditation on our own before taking a matter to divination. All right, many devotees do not look at divination as a very serious matter and as a tool that needs to be used whenever any major decisions are to be made. Ifa divination is not a toy, it's not something you do casually, it's not something you do out of curiosity, but it's an instrument that is used as a tool for guiding your life. All right, and that basically is the lesson for today. All right, and as usual, my words of admonition is you do good for yourself. You do bad for yourself. All right, and with that, I would like to say Odabo and see you on Friday for the History Live on Ile Ijuba Ode Otun. Odabo.